Punch the sky, Spaceman Joe. Yeah. Tier 1, crazy head. Okay, let's go.
It's close enough, right enough, and perfect for this week's paranormal news from Werewolf Radar. How y'all doing, everyone? I am Roger with Jordan this week. Nope. Other way around. I am Roger with Nate. This week, Jordan is in Redacted, reading lines for Squid Games.
Redacted.
What if Jordan gets cast in the new Skid Games? Nope, I stand by it. There's a new show coming out called Skid Games.
It's where you just go really fast on like a big wheel or something, and then skid it to one side.
We wish you the best, Jordan. Break a leg and Redacted as you audition for Skid Games. But
Actually, like the late 80s or early 90s, there's a VHS of a Japanese game show called Endurance.
Yes.
That I rented multiple times because it was insane. And one of the games that they had to do was a bunch of guys would, I don't know, it was probably 7 or 8, maybe 10 people.
Sure.
Dressed down to their skivvies.
Sure.
Being dragged through a bunch of gravel by a tractor.
I understand why you rent this multiple times.
I feel like that would be an accurate version of Skid Games.
Yes. Jordan, break a leg. For right now, let's continue on with some, not, I guess, paranormal news, but we're talking about aliens on this week's Werewolf Radar news. And this is some legitimately cool shit from dailymail.co.uk, because unfortunately it is election time and all American news is nothing but un-UFO related politics. Thank you, other countries, for continuing covering the UFO news. From the Daily Mail, we have NASA is claiming that they could possibly find alien life on Jupiter's on Jupiter's moon by 2030.
Okay. I mean, is that because we have a probe nearing it or something?
There's a lot of things, but that's part of it. From Stacy Liberatore, scientists have revealed that NASA could confirm alien life in 2030 when it launches its very expensive, not really, by modern budget standards.
Budgets,
this is only $178 million dollar craft. There are motion pictures that cost more than this scientific mission.
Yeah.
And it's sending it to one of Jupiter's many moons. The American Space Agency is set to launch its Europa Clipper in October for its 5.5 month journey, where it will spend 4 years, maybe a typo there. They left out the date of time. How long do you think it takes to get to Jupiter? Years or months?
Well, apparently 5.5 months.
But it doesn't say months. The text says, I was trying to add it to fix it. We might have found a typo. A good Werewolf Radar typo, everybody.
Hell yeah, Daily Mail, the most reliable mail on Earth.
The American Space Agency is set to launch its Europa Clipper in October for its 5.5 journey to Europa, where it will spend 4 years investigating the icy moon.
Oh, okay, so they mean this October, so it's 5.5 years.
To get to Jupiter's moon?
It's gotta be.
Okay, so we're smart. So that would mean it would get there in
2030-ish.
2030-ish. Okay, so we learned something. Everyone listening right now, pat yourself on the back. We are guesstimating it takes 5.5 years to get to Europa. Nate, if you want to Google that, and we'll learn if we're correct soon. Back to the text. Now, a new study has analyzed instruments on board the craft, finding they are capable of picking up a single living cell in a tiny ice grain ejected from the moon's oceans. If you're not aware, Europa is a ice moon with a thick layer of ice on its crust, basically an ice crust, with a liquid, warm-ish saline ocean underneath there. And sometimes there's eruptions of the water from underneath. A team of researchers led by University of Washington determined, come on, Daily Mail, we'll get a better, stop getting so many ads. A team of researchers led by the University of Washington determined the tools can detect microbes in 1 out of hundreds of thousands of grains of rice and identify chemicals that are key components of life on Earth. So if life was created in similar chemistries as on Earth, this probe is set to be able to find that just based on one of the many geysers. So I assume this probe is going to get sprayed in the face by the planet constantly.
Oh yeah, this thing is getting creamed all over.
And it's just going to taste it and see if it tastes like life. Lead author Fabian Klenner said, for the first time, we have shown that even a tiny fraction of cellular material could be identified by a mass spectrometer on board a spacecraft. Our result gives us more confidence that using upcoming instruments, we will be able to detect life forms similar to those on Earth, which we increasingly believe could be present on ocean-bearing moons. Which is part of my favorite anime's plot line, Cowboy Bebop, to where I wouldn't mind going to an ocean moon, beach 24/7.
Plus, you get to fly one of their dope jets.
Yeah.
Space jets.
Space jets are where the future is, kids. Invest in Werewolf Radar LLC. We're going to build space jets. Also, we are a subsidiary of Monstroco.co.
Yeah, so these space jets will be powered by discarded human souls.
Yes, and your own family members' souls. Don't ask how they got them. Or about the screams. NASA chose to study Europa, that's the moon, because it is abundant with water and specific nutrients, all of which could mean the moon supports life in ways that we understand. Scientists have previously determined that in order for a planet to have life, it needs to have 3 main ingredients: heart, spirit, and gumption.
Hell yeah.
Those 3 main ingredients are temperatures that allow liquid water to exist, the presence of carbon-based molecules, and an energy input such as sunlight. Europa has all 3. In Europa's case, it is both theorized that sun is somehow penetrating through and geothermic energy being added to the equation from the core.
Warm.
Yes. A total of 5 spacecraft have visited the distant planetary body, but Clipper is set to feature the most powerful instruments of any previous mission and was developed with the goal of searching for life. This is the only thing that this is trying to do. So when this reaches here, or at least starts its main study, we're theorizing in 2029, its only goal or its only conclusions will be about whether or not Europa has life in some form, specifically bacterial, it sounds like. And then we'll land drills on there and dig into the ice and meet the space whales of Europa.
Exactly.
The new study focused on common bacteria called Sphingopiesis alexkinsis. I'm sorry, bacteria, for butchering your name, but you chose to have a name in Latin.
Yeah, it's okay. If you say it correctly, you actually summon a monster from beyond.
And this bacteria is found off waters, or in waters off the coast of Alaska. Researchers chose this specimen due to it being slammer than most modeled organisms. Daily Mail doesn't have a lot of proofreading oversight.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do a lot of AI writing.
You mean Stacy
I mean, I bet she copied
Liberatore
this
isn't
thing.
real?
No, she's probably real.
So this bacteria is slimmer than most modeled organisms, and its ability to survive in cold environments with sparse nutrients, similar characteristics to what life would face on Europa. Very harsh environments. You know what? I bet there's tardigrade on Europa. Werewolf Radar is
Probably.
calling it now. At least I am. What's your bet? You got a microscopic bacteria / animal on Europa. I'm saying tardigrade are definitely there.
I'd say it seems equally, if not more likely, than this bacterium that you can find on outside Alaska.
You're thinking the same, maybe different name, but same blood type.
Or something. I mean, same cellular makeup, maybe.
I
something
gotcha.
like that.
I guess, yeah, tardigrade wouldn't, but there'd be a water. I'm going water bear type, and you're going this bacteria type exactly.
No, I said
Research-
tardigrade's probably more likely to be there.
I believe they're everywhere.
I'm pretty sure they are.
They're inside of you right now. They're inside. You know how Santa Claus is, inside of you. He's inside of anyone who carries the spirit of a child. He's inside of that little girl smile down the street. Same with tardigrade.
Exactly.
Tardigrade are in all those places as well.
Tardigrade's the Holy Ghost.
So this bacteria is extremely small, so they are, in theory, capable of fitting into ice grains that are emitted from an ocean world, such as in Enceladus, and Europa. The simulation that they are using looked into easy phone, scaring the shit out of me with how loud I keep you so I can hear you at work. They are extremely small, so they're capable into fitting into various ice grains emitted from ocean worlds. The simulation looked at included a scenario of Clipper's surface dust analyzer, or SUDA, which will scoop up the intact ice grains and identify their chemistry. I can't believe we guessed it from the beginning, that yes, it is in theory just going to get a facial and scoop it up, taste it, and see if there's life inside.
Salty life.
SUDA is uniquely capable. This is why we're explicit too. If we stop these jokes, we'll have a bigger audience, by the way. Yeah, no, we would do just great if we stopped those jokes. But in terms of how things reach out to people, you understand what I meant. I think we're doing just fine. SUDA is uniquely capable of detecting salts in the dust / ice grains. The grain's speed and direction will tell SUDA their origin on Europa's surface, NASA shared in a statement. The instrument will also be able to detect ions with negative charges, allowing it to pick up fatty acids and lipids. Those two, of course, are straight up pure indicators of life on the planet, or moon in this case. For me, it is even more exciting to look for lipids or fatty acids, said Cleaner. cleaner than to look for building blocks of DNA. The reason is because fatty acids appear to be more stable. Senior author Frank Postberg, a professor of planetary sciences at the Freie Universität Berlin.
Sure.
I think that was weirdly accurate. My lady, I'm learning a few languages, mainly Spanish to help people at work. But when it comes to like weird German words, like I just have it ingrained in me how to pronounce them. I hope this one as well. Please write in the comments how close I got. Umlauts are confusing to me. With suitable instrumentation, such as the Surface Dust Analyzer, we call it SUDA, on NASA's Europa Clipper, the space probe, it might be easier than we thought to find life or traces of it on icy moons.
Yeah, we covered that. Did you hit your word count, Katya Laperninsky?
Listen. That is probably the most journalist of this whole piece, to where you had the bulk of all the information and then some just quotes she still had. So yes, she could hit word count. For those of you who are wondering, because we know our audience, Europa is a about average sized moon. If we relate it to ours, Europa has the diameter of 19,000 or 1,900 miles, which is about 90% of the diameter of our moon. Clipper's main body, the satellite, is a giant 10-foot tall propulsion module designed and constructed by Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory. And I think that's all the information. Unfortunately, the spacecraft will launch on a Falcon Heavy rocket owned by Elon Musk company SpaceX. So it might explode.
I mean, maybe they'll have the kinks worked out by then.
Let's all cross our fingers and hope some of the kinks are worked out by then. But that's the news for this week. We might, in our lifetime, have it confirmed that there is life in our solar system outside of the Earth's reach. Fucking crazy.
Disproving all religions once and for all.
What are you going to do when all religions have been disproved by this probe? I'm going to start my own. It seems like 2030 is going to be the year of the cult. And I'm going to get in on that.
I think it might end up heading that direction regardless.
If you like what we do here, please check us out wherever you can. Our website and Discord are really the best ways to stay up to date and in contact with us. That is werewolfradar.com. And if you like to see us play games and D&D, you have twitch.tv/werewolf_radar. And check out our streams there. If you really like what we do, please just give us a 5-star review wherever you can. It really helps us grow. And our YouTube, subscribe and like. We're trying to grow there as well. And we're almost to 1,000 subscribers, which means once we get longer view counts on there, we can get monetized and make some of that sweet YouTube money all the children are making by... Should we just do egg openings, like gift egg openings, change everything? Werewolf Radar gift box openings.
Werewolf Radar unboxings.
Anyway, this is for later. Check out our YouTube. It's in the Google. You'll find it. It's easy enough. And if you can, it would really be helpful if you joined our Patreon at patreon.com/werewolf radar, where you can, for a small financial donation, become a Dark Council member and get exclusive episodes, exclusive merch, and have even more access to us, to where you can message us your suggestions and various other things. Say hello. We're trying to do, and it's making it easier to do watch-alongs on Patreon / our Zoom as well. If we get more patrons, we can work less and do things like that. That would be cool. Now, on the count of 3, let's end with our super duper seeker sign-off line from one Dylan Gutierrez. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Suspect the moon, space person, whomever. See, I trust and suspect the moon because I'm in a long-term relationship with the moon.
Yeah, well, you've broken up with the moons so many times and gotten back together. You never know how it's going to fly.
It's not a perfect relationship, but it's our relationship.
I did confirm, by the way, that it's 5.5 years.